Portugal has unarguably become an insanely popular place, and rightfully so. It's literally a stunning place to be. It's a super beautiful culture, great food, and I've lived here for 7 years and I don't have one bad thing to say about it. Now with that has brought a lot of foreigners here over the past couple years, which is rich coming from me as a foreigner, but I get a pass since I'm married to a Portuguese woman. Anyway, with a lot of foreigners coming, real estate is in demand here in Portugal. So whether you're looking to invest, whether you're looking to relocate, or whether you're just curious, I've got you covered on everything you need to know about the real estate market here in Portugal. So to start, let's look at this from the big picture, bird's eye view with an overview of the market itself. And to start, over the past few years, if we look at the property prices in Portugal, we can see it's been steadily increasing. And this trend is carried into 2024 present day. And I really believe that it's going to rise and continue to drive up in price in 2025. And this is for multiple different reasons. The first reason is just a strong demand, right? You have both domestic and international buyers coming from all over the world. And they're showing super high interest in Portugal's real estate market. I mean, why wouldn't they? It's a beautiful place and beautiful market to invest in. And we got international investors from countries like the UK, France, Brazil, the United States. They're all drawn by Portugal's amazing lifestyle, the appeal, the relatively affordable properties, at least compared to Western Europe, and residency programs like the Golden Visa. But the Golden Visa, if I'm correct, it won't be in effect for much longer. So that's not really an option anymore. Now, the next reason is just limited supply, right? So the demand for housing, particularly in desirable regions like Lisbon, Porto, Algarve, the main cities, the main areas to be, it far, far, far outweighs the available supply, which of course brings prices up. So the reason for that is that construction of new developments have lagged behind the growth in demand, which obviously, as I just said, drives prices up. And then of course, on the back end of that, we have tourism recovery. Now, as we all know, 2020, we had the pandemic, and now post-pandemic tourism has really bounced back strong in Portugal. And areas that cater to tourists have seen a huge increase in property interest, particularly for vacation rentals and short-term rentals like Airbnb. So this has also had a huge contribution to a price surge in coastal and touristical areas, right? Or heavy tourist areas. Now, the next thing I really want to convey for you to understand is when it comes to the market, right? To the market, it's these really popular locations where we've seen a significant price hike, like Lisbon, Porto, and Algarve, and starting with one of my favorite towns, Lisbon. So as Portugal's capital, Lisbon remains, it's one of the most expensive markets probably in the area outside of Algarve. See, in 2024, the average price per square meters climbed to from around 4,000 to 5,000 euros in the central district areas. And then in upscale neighborhoods like Chiado, Bairro Alto, prices, they easily exceed 7,000 euros per square meter. And for the international buyers looking to invest, or looking for investment opportunities, particularly people like in the tech and startup sector, they're really the ones fueling this growth, as a ton of them are actually buying these exact properties that we're talking about. Now, the next city to look at is Porto, right? It's another big city, and that's also experienced a similar boom, but remains a little bit more affordable than Lisbon. If we just look at the numbers, in 2024, the average price per square meter is about 3,500 to 4,500. And also, if we just look at Porto's cultural appeal, that's also growing in popularity, especially with digital nomads. And the university presence there, the university kids, that's also increased a lot, which has increased the attractiveness of this city for investors or even just people wanting to live. Now, I would say the next big city in Portugal is probably Algarve. And in the Algarve region, it's known for its absolutely stunning beaches, its luxury villas, and it's just one of my favorite places to go. I lived there for a year and it's paradise. Now, Algarve, it also, if we look at the numbers, continues to see price increases, especially in hotspots like the main towns there, like Albufeira, Lagos, Vila Moura. Properties in these areas and in the Algarve, they could range pretty wide in price depending on what you want. But for a nice beachfront villa or home in like a gated community, we've seen price surges, now often pricing around 6,000 euros per square meter. But interestingly enough, there's been a lot of growing interest in like sub-cities, so a little bit outside of the main city. This basically means cities like outside of big cities like Lisbon or Ericeira, and cities like this would include like Braga or Coimbra and even Faro. These are cities outside of these bigger cities. And here we've seen a super big rise in interest from both people in Portugal wanting to purchase, but also foreign buyers seeking a little bit more alternative options when searching for a property. So while those areas are still more affordable, prices they're beginning to increase pretty rapidly as people look beyond these major urban centers. So for example, in Braga, property prices have increased from about 10 to 15% year over year, which is crazy, making it a growing hotspot for, as I said, investors looking for potential appreciation opportunity. Now, the fourth point as to why these prices are hiking up is urban gentrification. and development, right? There's a lot of development. And in addition to major city centers, there's several neighborhoods on the outskirts of Lisbon that are just gorgeous. And you have outskirt neighborhoods in Porto that have undergone significant gentrification. So I'm talking like areas once considered to be less desirable are now becoming pretty attractive. And they're getting a lot of attention due to the infrastructure improvements, due to modern developments, due to improved connectivity. I mean, investors are eyeing these areas and they're offering higher potential returns in these areas as well. So it's very attractive. Now, the next reason is just a high demand for new developments, right? The luxury real estate segment here, particularly for new developments, it's seeing a huge, strong increase in demand. Buyers, particularly from international markets like the US, UK, they're interested in high-end properties that offer, modern amenities, good energy efficiency, these super prime hotspot locations, right? So overall, the Portuguese real estate market, it's highly dynamic in 2024. And I think it's going to be highly dynamic continuing to project forward in 2025 and 2026. And with prices increasing at varying rates, depending on the region, of course, and what you want, where you want to be, the international demand, tourism recovery, and limited supply are really the primary drivers of this price growth. There are, however, some regions that may experience leveling off due to just like governmental interventions or rising interest rates with things like Airbnb or vacation rentals, but that's a topic for a whole nother video. Now, with that said, if you want to buy or sell a property in Portugal, then go ahead and email me and let's chat. My email is going to be in the description below. Also, you could check out some property tour videos if you're interested in potentially investing in a property here that I've done. You can watch those videos right here.